Today's video, we're going to talk about starting a new campaign on Google Ads to fix old campaign performance. And I've touched on this in other videos before, but essentially, you can actually fix the poor performance campaigns that are not getting impressions by starting up a new campaign. Yes, you absolutely can do this. However, of course, it's not a long-term solution to your business, just simply starting up new campaigns to get campaigns that are not working anymore. And I'm going to explain why that is in this particular video. But with that said, if you are in a situation where you're getting little to no impressions and you don't know why, you had impressions before, some more impressions are obviously better than none. However, to fix your problem long-term, you're going to have to still know this other information I'm going to share with you in today's video. So with that said, I will go over all the details on that here. So to explain this further, or to get into the content, overall, starting up a new campaign can work to free up and get the impressions on your ads going again and clicks thereof, and then sales or conversions or leads thereof. Particularly though with PMax, or especially, should I say, with PMax campaigns, because PMax campaigns they behave a little bit differently than other campaign types. Why? Because when Google is in the process of shutting down your campaign for lack of performance, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, it will get your ads going again when you start up a new campaign. Google will give a PMax or other campaign a chance to work in the beginning. But if you don't perform, you're cut from the lineup, so to say. It's almost like a baseball team. I remember playing in Little League. The better batter you are, the higher up in the ranking you went in terms of the batting order. Were you in the top 4 or were you not? I mean, it was based upon how good of a hitter you were, okay? Google has basically the same exact system. Their system is set up to identify who's the big heavy hitters, who's not. The people that are the heavy hitters get all the placement, they get all the good customers, they get all the good customers for the cheapest rates, and the non-heavy hitters get the worst. So you don't just get put in the bottom half of the placements, you get all the shitty placements. And if it's bad enough, no placements at all. They won't even want to take any of your money, essentially. For the most part, they're going to charge you more at the same time to hopefully just price you out of the market, if you will. But when you're bad enough, they'll just cut your impressions completely, if you will. So Google's goal is to let any new advertisers into the system, give them a shot, and then let the cards land where they may, if you will. If you have good metrics, they're going to show you more and give you better placement in front of people that they know is more statistically likely to convert. And if not, you're going to get the reverse of that. Now, as it comes to PMax campaigns specifically, I've seen multiple clients come to me in consult calls here at our agency, and they will just say, PMax was running great for a while, and then it just isn't running anymore. So I started up a new campaign. Why that happens is because Google was testing out your PMax ads, your elements that you've inserted into that PMax campaign, and they saw if your assets, your products, do they perform as well as the other people that are advertising on Google now? If not, they're going to ramp down your impressions of that PMax campaign. And you can start up a new campaign to kind of jumpstart the system, so Google has to evaluate a new campaign again. If you haven't fundamentally changed anything about that campaign or your website, the same process is just going to happen all over again. You're going to get some it's going to look good at the beginning, and then it's going to ramp, it's going to peak, and then it's going to slowly dive. And that's just going to keep happening for as long as you ramp up and start new campaigns, which for the most part, 90% of the money you're going to make with Google Ads is in the long-term running of campaigns. It's like not even worth it to get a campaign going and then have it die, and then another campaign going and then have it die. That's not where the real money is. The money is in figuring out how to get Google to see a campaign you have, like it, and promote the shit out of it, okay? PMax, this happens the most. What I see more so with search campaigns, display campaigns, and the like is if your ads are not performing as well as the competition, they'll just charge you more per click, to the point where you don't want to advertise anymore with them. Or they'll shut down individual keywords and just say your quality score is too low, if you will. And in that situation, a similar thing would occur where if you started up a new campaign with those keywords again, you're going to get some action on those keywords for a while. But the same end result will happen like with the PMax campaign. If you don't fix your core issue, you're always just going to get a certain amount up to a certain level, and then it's going to go down from there. In order to fix this, you got to fix the core problem. Now, ultimately, if there's a lot more to be said than what I'm going to say on this video about fixing your core issue, I will go over the main macro level components to this, but you don't learn how to become a PPC master in a weekend. When I started out 20 years doing this, I had to go through it just like yourself, making all the mistakes, and there's no book in and itself also that's going to make it all the difference. You got to trial and error it for yourself. When I started, there was basically no information out there. It was literally flying blind. You got this channel that you can use where I go over all the stuff that works and what doesn't work from somebody who's actively doing it, not some BS person that is talking about the theory behind this stuff. You got real information here. I'm in the weeds doing the work, unlike what you're going to find elsewhere. So you should subscribe to this channel if you're serious about making money with ads and finding out what that stuff is. Furthermore, you should check out my blog on my site at guaranteeppc.com/blog. You could find my strategies that we're using to guarantee our clients' results at our firm there. So check that out as well. The screenshots and everything else you need to follow those particular strategies are all there for you to use. If you have any questions, by the way, about anything I'm covering here, by the way, you can just leave me a question in the comment section below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours. So with that said, getting back into what I was saying here, so there's three main key macro level elements to whether or not your campaign soars or it crashes and burns eventually. That is your benchmark CTR versus actual CTR, benchmarked conversion rate versus actual conversion rate, benchmarked review score versus actual review score. When I say benchmarked, I mean in your niche market where you're at locally, or if it's a national campaign nationally, they're going to see all the other advertisers that are advertising for the same, to get in front of the same exact people you're trying to get in front of. And they're going to measure as a whole their click-through rate, their conversion rates. Then when you come in with your campaign, they're going to measure your click-through rates and your conversion rates and see where you stack up against them. Are you in the lower quadrant, middle quadrant, upper quadrant, top quadrant, if you will? And that makes all the difference in how much money you're going to make ultimately, because they're going to treat you like a well-respected customer or somebody like it's like a piece of gum on the bottom of their shoe, essentially. That's why I mentioned on this channel before, either come heavy with Google ads, whether you're talking about search ads, shopping, display, or you don't come at all, because they've got plenty of people that want to sell to their consumer base. Are you providing more value to them than what's already there? If not, why should they give a damn whether or not you get any action or not? There's no point, if you will. It's much like just go business in general, right? If you're going to open up a lemonade stand and there's 3 other lemonade stands and you say, oh, I don't need to be better. Well, your business is not going to work, practically speaking. They've got all the customer base and their shit's better. You don't stand a chance. You have to come to the table with more. This whole, I'm going to do the bare minimum to, and just follow the steps. No. How can you actually do more? Because Google doesn't care if you're just another guy who wants in. Or at the very least, you're going to end up making very little profit margin going that route. And you're going to work your ass off for little money. If it makes money at all, that is, which it probably won't. So if your campaign has died off, you can start a new campaign to get yourself going temporarily so you catch your breath, gather some air. The real thing, though, is to figure out how to get your click-through rates and your conversion rates higher. Now, reviews are also an element to this. We've seen personally where you'll get a rash of bad reviews on your Google business profile, and that will send a campaign into a tailspin, no impressions, no clicks anymore because of that alone. So know that going in. And if that happens to you, by the way, you could build it up with more reviews again, but it's going to be, a while before that happens, obviously. And if it's bad enough, you're going to have a whole nother website. You're just done. Google's not going to promote you, let you advertise with them if you're ripping off your customers. Or you may not, who cares why the person left a bad review? It's irrelevant. They left it. Google is going to judge you based upon the reviews that are left for your company. That's it. So they're going to look at all 3 of those things technically, with obviously the biggest thing you could control is the click-through rate and conversion rate, even though with reviews anymore, there's great softwares out there that will automatically text all your customers asking for a review. You could cold call people that have bought from you. You can do other stuff. I've got separate whole videos about how to improve your review score on Google. Anybody can do this one way or another, I promise you. Search for it on my channel homepage if you want in the search bar, Google reviews, whatnot. With that said though, getting higher click-through rates and conversion rates on a very basic level is not, anybody could do this. Why? Because the average consumer, should I say advertiser, is not trying almost at all to have the best ad and best landing page. If it were, I wouldn't be in business having to guarantee clients results. I know what people are willing to do and what they're not. And I just put the work in to do the stuff that they're not willing to do as a whole, on average. And what the consumer I know wants, such as single keyword ad group campaigns. If you're running search campaigns, making sure that you have a unique laser targeted ad copy for every search. And you hand select the best page on your site to send them to. And having a few hundred keywords instead of 10 or 20 so you can to do that with, because you'll have better matching of message to user. Or if you're talking about PMax, it means, and that is if you're uploading a product feed, doing image testing, finding out the right image to show on your product feed using supplemental product feeds so you can override the image that's on your website so you don't just use any image for shopping, but the most ideal one. Or price testing, or keyword stuffing your product titles in your product feed itself, not on your site, but on your product feed to increase click-through rates. You could do that as well. These are things that people think is above them. And if your campaign's crashing and burning, at least now you can't say, I didn't know what to do, I just refused to do it. When you're talking about display campaigns, finding out what message people want to hear. You can make the most beautiful ad in the world. If what you said on that ad doesn't mean anything to anybody, your campaign's going to not get very much placement on those websites, on those channels that you want. And for that matter, people don't want to put the content together that people care about or come up with an offer that people care about. You're selling mortgages, you want to say, come up with something exciting like guaranteed lowest rate on your mortgage, we'll give you a $100 Outback Steakhouse gift card, something that takes some guts to offer, useful to your audience. Or if you're trying to sell a new toolbox, show the other competitors' toolboxes abused, yours abused, and how yours stands up better. What's something that's actually valuable to the audience that you're trying to show it to. So therefore, it's going to get high engagement. Google's going to want to show it more. And when it comes to YouTube ads specifically, by the way, they're looking at how many people are watching that ad all the way through, how many people are wanting to like it, share it, all that other stuff on top of everything else. Google's changed fundamentally since their inception, whereas back in the day, it was just whoever had the most money wins. Nowadays, it's whoever has the most money helps. That's like 30% of the equation. They prefer to show stuff that users like. Why? Because they don't want to burn out their users on ads. Because if once they get across that bridge, they are effed. Nobody's clicking on ads. Nobody's going to want to advertise anymore with them. Nobody's going to want to use the ad platform anymore, or the search engine, the social media platform, what have you. So you got to know this. It's more about your strategy than it is how much money you have in today's world when it comes to running any kind of campaigns within your Google Ads account. And that obviously takes either time or money to go. If you have money, you hire a firm like ours, and we're going to do it all for you. And we're going to guarantee your result, which you can reach out to me at my firm at guaranteepbc.com if you're interested in that. Or you do it yourself. You watch these videos and you learn and you do it yourself, one or the other. By the way, I have ad templates available now. If you are in a niche market that we've been in before, we can sell you the winning ads, landing pages, all of it that work for your niche market. You copy paste those babies inside your ad account and get the same results we have. It's basically like having a business in a box, essentially, because you're starting out with all the ads that will work for that market. And then everything else becomes easy/trivial ultimately to be able to do. We got niches we got 100 plus different niche markets where we've got templates. So, and we can tell you the results you're going to get with it up front. Beyond that, I also do coaching and consulting. So if you're not sure what else to do to get your click-through rates and conversion rates up, you can set up a call with me and I can tell you 100% for sure what to do if you're still just not sure about your unique market. But with that said, going back to in terms of how Google's going to shut down your campaign, just so that you understand the fundamentals here as well. Usually when Google starts shutting down your campaign, it's done at the keyword or placement level. So if you're running search placements, it's going to be done on a keyword level. You'll know it on a regular search campaign it happened because a keyword will be not in the status column under that keyword. It'll say, quality score too low. Sorry, you can't advertise on this keyword anymore. But it can happen on the placement level, a certain channel, certain website, you're just blacklisted from because ultimately users have rated it poorly, like I was talking about before, or it just doesn't perform on that particular website, what have you. Here's a big but. This can run systemic for you. So you could have, if you have an account where too much of your campaign, because they're going to sub-segment the traffic and try to figure out, okay, maybe some of this traffic works, some of it doesn't. It seems like, I don't know the exact percentage threshold here, but it seems like if half of the traffic isn't performing well, half the keywords aren't performing well, they'll just start shutting down that whole campaign. Once you've tipped over that certain level, your whole campaign will just not get any impressions anymore. So if your campaign's dying, it's because most of the stuff in your campaign is performing poorly, not just some small part of it. Because they're going to try to figure out how to surgically cut out the stuff that's irrelevant to their audience. But when it's a certain amount, what they're going to do is say, instead of us trying to fight to find the 5% in here that's not crap, we're just going to shut it all down because we've got other advertisers to pick from here and we don't need your money that badly. And damage their audience and their respect with their audience to find your 5%. So know that as well. And that's where your campaign itself starts dying, where your whole PMax campaign starts dying, your whole search campaign starts dying, and so forth. If you want somebody to step into your business directly, not an agency per se, but someone in-house to manage your ads, we're looking to partner with different companies in that we partner with several companies to date. And with that, we will come in and give you ad spend. We'll give you all the expertise and resources to set up your ads correctly. And we'll take a cut of your sales growth moving forward. We take between 1% and 10% of the sales growth of your company in exchange for that cash investment up front. You got to have a great product or service that's a leader in its category in terms of the quality itself, good reviews and all that. But if you have that and you have everything minus the advertising figured out, we will absolutely crush it on the advertising side for your business. And we've got several companies we've done this with before we can give you references of. They're making many millions more per year in terms of sales with the companies that we partner with, but we become partners together and we grow your company accordingly. Reach out to me if you're interested in that. I also have a brand new Discord group that I've just opened up. It's got a free PPC course on there where I show start to finish how to set up a PPC campaign for yourself that will make lots of money the way that we do it at our agency to guarantee our clients results. You can find the link down in the video description of that particular Discord group with the free advertising course in there that frankly is worth a lot of money, but we give for free away in that course just as a thank you for joining. So with that said, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you want to see another video, click here. It is one of my best ones.